class we are going to discuss on types of plans. In the previous class we were discussing about planning. So planning can be classified into strategic plans and tactical plans. So let us know that what do you mean by strategic plans, very important for any industry. So it's called as a long range planning, and tactical plans are called as a short range planning. So some of the classifications is listed out here. Strategic planning is long term and done at top management. It decides the major goals and policies of allocation of resources to achieve the goals. It is generally based on the long term forecast of the technology, political and environmental situations. It is less because detailed because it is not involved within the day-to-day operation of the organization. So these are called as the strategic plans, which is actually done for a long range of planning. Now let us see what is meant by tactical planning. It is a short-term planning process done at lower levels of management. It decides and detailed use of resources for achieving the goals, and it is generally based on the past performance of the organization and is less uncertain. It is also more detailed because it is involved in day-to-day operation of the organization. So these are major classifications between strategic planning as well as tactical planning. So let me just take you through the hierarchy of organization plans. We have objectives, strategies, then it is divided into single-use plans and standing plans. Single-use plans are programs and budget and all those things. Standing plans are like policies, procedures, methods, and rules. All these things are very much important for any organization to survive. So before going into that, let me just take you through the objectives. So what do you mean by objectives? So it is defined by any organization to fulfill the requirements of that over a period of time. Organization achieve by means of strategies, and two major groups are there: single use plans as well as standing plans. So single use plans are developed to achieve the specific goal, and the plans are programs and budgets. Standing plans are designed for situations that offer for a certain period of time. So if you have like some of the policies will be framed in most of the industries, so that any uncertainties or any situations comes, rules and policies can give the clarity for that specific process. So just further moving on, the objectives. What do you mean by objectives? Is objectives are goals that or aim which the management wish to have in the industry, and this will always give a proper defined activities for organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. And objectives should have a vision, purpose, and a mission. So it's very important and should be specific to that what the industry is in need of. So the vision is the dream that the enterprise creates, and so what you have to achieve over the period of time, and the purpose of our organization, its preliminary roles are defined by the society. So the mission is a unique aim that sets by the organization apart from others. So all this mission, vision, and purpose of organizations, all this has to be covered when you are defining the objectives, and it should have a specific target to reach by the organization. So further, let me just characteristics of objectives. So how the objectives has to be are multiple in number. So you may have four objectives or five objectives, which should specify the entire process in brief. So these are market standing, innovation has to be there, productivity, physical and financial resources. So all those things, work performance, all those public responsibilities. So everything you have to frame in the objectives, and it should be either objectives are either tangible or intangible, and objective have a priority, so you have to sort it out. The first thing what you have to do, you have to be the first objective, and when you go on further, you can define the further objectives. So objectives are generally arranged in the hierarchy, as I have mentioned. The first one which you have to complete, then second, third, fourth, fifth. So you have to minimize the objectives so that you get the clarity of what has to be performed over the 5 years of time or 10 years of time, which has to be completed. So objectives sometimes clash with each other. So we have to be very careful that when you define the objective, it does not clash with each other. Then requirements of sound objectives is objective must be both clear and acceptable. Objectives must support one another and must be precise and measurable, and objectives should always be valid. So these are some of the requirements which you have to keep in your mind when you are framing the objectives. Then some of the advantages of having a good objective is it provides a basis for planning. They act as motivators, and this will facilitate the coordinated behavior and also have a better function management functionality, and less problems will be created, and you have the clarity of what you are doing, and you have the organization activities according to the set objectives. Then what is the need of strategies? So strategies is a plan which account the environmental operations and threats and organization strengths and weaknesses, and provides an optimal match between the firm and the environment. So you have to have a better strategic plan, and strategic plan usually you do it for 5 years or 10 years of span, and you define the things so much clear that each step has to be performed to achieve those goals. So environmental process like an analysis of efficient and results in identification of threats and opportunities, political and legal factors, all these things are very important, economic factors, then social and cultural factors, competitive factors. So all these things has to be considered when you are going with the strategies for an industry. Then you also have a corporate appraisal. This involves the analysis of the company's strength and weakness. So we call it as strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So all these things has to be analyzed properly and come out with a good systematic plan which can serve for the industries. So standing plans, you have in standing plans you have policies. So a policy is general guideline for decision making. It sets up boundaries around the decisions, including those that can be made by shutting out those that cannot. And policies is it can be verbal, written, and setting up boundaries that supply the general limits and directions of the managerial action. You have also how to do the work, and all those things has to be taken care. And you have some of the advantages of policies, like policies ensure uniformity of action and makes the action more predictable. Then policies speed up decision at lower levels, and policies make it easier for the superior or delegates to make the things. Means it gives a clear understanding of what has to be done at that particular point of time, and policies gives a precise and shape for the practical shape for the objectives as well. So every time it's very important to have a defined policies to overcome many situations of which the industry is going to face. So along with that, some of the types of policies, they are classified on the basis of source functions and organization levels. Classification on the basis of source, on the basis of policies are divided into originated, implanted, then externally imposed policies. All those different kinds are there. Then you have classifications on the basis of organizational levels. On the basis of business functions, policies can be classified into production, sales function, personnel policies, etc. As well as based on the organization levels, policy range from major company policies through major department policies, and so all these things we have to keep it in your mind. These are different types of policies which we come across, and basically what we can understand is policy is very much important, and because if you come out with a situation and your manager has to take up a decision on that, so a defined policy will be very much helpful for them to go without any problem, and they can come out with a solution to that at the ease. Okay. And rules also, rules and policies are very important, so that's why most of the companies will have a defined policy. And let us see what are the guidelines of effective policy making. So policies should be in the written form, so that nobody questions that. Policies should be reflect the objectives. Top managers and subordinates must participate in the formation of that. Policies must be reasonably balanced between and should be flexible as well. And policy in an organization should not pull in different directions, and policy should not be of interest of the society. So it should be in such a way that it should help both the parties, and the entire system should work smooth. Policies must be comprehensive and should be periodically reviewed. So if you want to make any small changes in that in the upcoming days and situations, that is also permitted with a group of people sitting together and finalizing those things. So we have a few more things like procedures. A procedure provides a detailed set of instructions for performing a sequence of action involved in doing a certain thing. Procedure is to be followed every time and whenever you are performing any task. Difference between policy and procedure. Policy is like general guidelines for the organization, top level activity. Policy fulfill the objectives of an organization. Policies are often made out of any study or analysis. Procedure is general guidelines at the action level. Department activity. Procedures guide the way to implement the policies. Procedures are always made after thorough study and analysis of the work. So what are the methods and rules? Also, it's very important for us to understand. So a method is a prescribed way in which the one step of a procedure is to be performed. So you have a set of things. You know that these are the rules and regulations. These are the methods to be followed by an individual in an industry. So it helps in increasing the effectiveness and usefulness of the entire process. And procedure helps the number of so the individual will be very much clear that what has to be done and what not to be done. Each have the number of methods to be done. Rules. Every industry, as you know, that has a structured rule and are detailed and recorded instructions that are specific to a action and must follow by all the individuals of the organization. And then you have single use plan that are like programs and budgets. So once you define those things, yeah, you should stick on to those further, and which are not to be subjected to changes again and again. So these are some of the things which we have been discussing in this session, and now continuation of that, we'll be having steps in planning in the upcoming session. So anything with respect to that we'll be discussing in the next session. So that's all for today. Thank you all for being part of this session. Thank you. Thank you all.